Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is super late and I am so sorry, but as you guys saw from my last video, I was out of town and then I came back and I was super tired from all the stuff I did while I was out of town, and I gave myself a little break from filming this video, even though it really doesn't take that much effort to film it. But anyways, so this is my December reading wrap up, but I'm also combining my January TBR into this video just for convenient purposes, because my December reading wrap up is not that long. So I don't know. I thought about making it summer videos, but then I was like, there's just really no need for it. So there's just gonna be one video. I'm gonna start with my reading wrap up for December and then move into my January TBR. The first book that I read and finished in December was 9 Days by Jolena Falk, I think is how you pronounce their last name. And their first name, I guess. I don't know 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce their first name. So I'm looking down because I don't have the actual book, so I'm like my notes and things like that. But before I even go into the book, search up trigger warnings. There are points in this book where I'm not like, oh, that's not super triggering, but like the main key topic that created the plot for the book is triggering in and of itself. So I would just say be very careful. If when you do read the trigger warnings you're a little skeptical, maybe take that as a sign. Maybe don't read it. I did truly enjoy this book. It was really sad at some parts, but it was also really heartwarming at other parts, and I felt like the two main characters really like bounced off each other very well. And even though it was kind of cheesy in the sense that like you kind of knew how the ending was going to happen, you like didn't, because the way that the author wrote the ending kind of surprises you but doesn't at the same time, which is so hard to explain. Like if you've read it you probably know what I'm talking about, but like I don't want to explain it because I don't want to spoil it. This book overall was super easy to read. I think there's 3 books in, no, there's 4 books total in this series, so there's 3 more left that I'd have to read. I definitely am going to at least read the next one and hope if that's good, because I rated this one 4 stars. Again, it was good. Was it the best thing I've ever read? No. But was it bad? Absolutely not. I mean, I think I read it in like, yeah, I read it in 2 days. So it was super easy. Again, I know I've said it, but I'm just saying again, search up trigger warnings. Please be careful before reading this book. It may seem like, oh, that's not going to be that bad, but there were definitely some parts where the main character, who does deal with some very intense thoughts, as someone who has struggled with anxiety and depression themselves, there were some things that were very relatable in that book, but not something you want to relate to per se. So that's all I'm saying. For some people who are maybe in a healthy mindset, they'd be able to handle that. But there are some people who probably are like, you know, this probably is not the best time for me to read this. I've done that. There have been books I've wanted to read that I know are really sad, but I know that my mental state was not the best and that I should not read it at that moment. So I would just say, if you really want to read it, maybe find a time where you're feeling like, I'm feeling good, like things are going well, and then maybe read it then. But then maybe don't, because then maybe your mood will go back down. I don't know. That's for you all to decide, but I'm just warning you that there are definitely triggering things in this book. Okay, next book. So the next book that I read, I think no one is going to be surprised about if you've watched any of my other videos, but I read the 5th volume of Heartstopper. So there's going to be one more volume, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's any more after the 6th volume, but this one is the one that this is the last one that's currently out. I was so excited for this to come out. I pre-ordered this like months and months ago. I will say though, I'm very upset, as I stated in my, not my last video, but I think the video before that. The spine, and like, I think because like the publisher maybe changed, they're like not the same size anymore, and like the spines look different, and I'm really sad because I don't want them to be mismatched, and I don't know what to do. Like, do I sell my 4 and then rebuy them with this so like they match? I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's really bothering me. If you don't know, things like that bother me so much. Like, I don't usually say I have like OCD, but I do have OCD tendencies, and that's one of them. Like, things don't line up and match up. Like, I can see it right now on one of my shelves. There's a book series where one of the books is slightly shorter than the other ones. Not even because it's like printed from a different company. Like, it's literally just like cut slightly shorter, and it really bothers me that the two next to it are taller. I'm like, no, let's not do that. Anyways, back to this book. I'm going off on a tangent that's not needed to go off on right now. But this was the second book. Paige, literally you only read 3 this month. Anyways, 5 stars for the 5th volume, of course. I think every volume of Heartstopper has gotten 5 stars for me. It's really hard for me to rate a graphic novel. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, 3 stars, there was no plot. Like, I think this book spanned maybe like a week, 2 weeks. That might be really incorrect. Hold on. Does it say? You know, I don't know, but it wasn't that long. And if it was like a time jump there at the end thing. Like, most of it was a very short period of time. So I don't know. With graphic novels and like novellas, I'm not a very harsh rater. If I enjoyed it, it probably gets a 4 to a 5 star. And I just love these. I love these characters and I love these books, so they almost always get 5 stars for me just for being them. So that was the second book that I read in December. So the final book that I read in December, which part of the reason it's the final book is because I did go out of town towards the end of December. Normally I spend all of this is gonna just show you how much I don't go out, but normally on New Year's Eve I spend as much time as I can reading. I try to get as many books as I can in on that last day. Well, I couldn't do that this year because I was actually driving to go see my friend Rez. So, yeah, that was exciting. But I don't know where I was going with that. Where was I going with that? Yeah, train has left the station and I don't know if it's coming back. Oh, so I didn't read as many. Like, usually I would have maybe like 5 or 6 books in December because I'd read like 2 or 3 on that last day, but that did not happen. And with finals and then Christmas, I was just kind of like, I took a break from reading in December. And unfortunately, it's followed me to January is all I will say. I have not finished a book yet this month. Yeah, the reading slump has hit. And it's really bad because, like, I literally have so many books I want to read. Like, if you take a look, literally right here, half of those I have not read yet. Half of those are new. I want to read all of them. But at the same time, I'm like, but do I? Like, I could just lay in bed and, like, watch TV. Or I could do literally anything else. So I'm really upset that I'm hitting a reading slump, especially because I have to go back to school in a week. The third book that I read in December, which is also the final book that I read in December, is This Winter by Alice Osman. So this is a novella in the Heartstopper Solitaire universe, just that whole universe. I rated this 4 stars. Again, novellas, graphic novels, things like that, I'm not a super harsh rater. The only reason this got 4 stars, which now that I'm thinking about it, this might have been the book that was like a week long. Oh, no. This was like Christmas Day. The brain still works, guys. Yeah, this whole book took place on like Christmas Day. And the only reason I got 4 stars instead of 5 stars is because I just felt like some of it was a little like, I don't even know, like, I don't want to say boring, but like, just like, yeah, okay, like, we expected that. I know there wasn't any like big plot twist, but I think that's also partially because I think you're supposed to technically read this between volumes 3 and 4, I think. And there was like a little like calendar in the beginning that like shows you how to read it, which obviously I was like too late for. Oh, or not, never mind. This book was really, really good. I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. It was very short, so it was very easy to get through. Come on, dust jacket, don't fall. I hate when they like, come on. I think the only book I have left in this like universe is Solitaire, so I'll probably get to that this year, so yay. So now we are moving on to my January TBR section of this video. I picked all the books on the TBR this month. I did not do any sort of, you know, random generator or TBR jar or having someone else pick for me. I was like, I'm in a reading slump. I'm gonna pick books that I actually feel like I want to read to hopefully get me out of a reading slump. And for me, some of the best ways to do that is to pick books that I have not had for a while, like new books that I've recently gotten. That's how I want to say that. So all the books on here are newer books that I've gotten in the last like month. So some of them are new and some of them are not new. It just Well, okay, they're all new to me. Some of them are literally new, like new releases, and some of them are not. First book that I have on my January TBR, I think no one is going to be surprised about. That is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. So I don't know if you can tell, but when I took off the Barnes & Noble exclusive sticker, you can kind of see it right here. But it left like, it's not even really sticky. It's literally just like a clearish white like gloss from the sticker. But like I said, it's not sticky, but it's really annoying. Okay, anyways, this is the first book on my January TBR. I am really am excited to read this. I loved Divine Rivals, and I have heard nothing but good things about this book so far. And I do have the, if you watched my last video, I have the regular, like, non-Barnes & Noble exclusive cover dust jacket. They're the same book, it's just this one has, like, extra content or something. But, oh, where was I even going? Guys, why does my train of thought keep leaving? I don't know. I have been wanting to read this book since I read Divine Rivals, so I'm very excited that I finally can read it. I feel like if any of these books are going to get read this month, it's likely to be this one, but if it doesn't, it's probably not that I didn't read it, I probably just didn't finish it, if I'm being totally honest. Because for me, the month I finish a book in is the month that I put it in. Unless I finish, like, I won't lie, if I finish a book, like, let's say I finish a book on February 1st, if I haven't filmed my wrap-up yet, I will put it in for, like, the January thing, because I read basically all of it in January. But if I get, like, you know, 50% of the way through a book, and then I finish it in February, like, if I got through 50% this month and 50% the next month, I'm just gonna put it in the next month. But, I don't know. I really feel like that one I will get to. It's just, I think it's gonna depend on how quickly this reading slump decides to leave, because so far she has not wanted to leave, and I'm a little mad about it, because I want to read. That's the thing about my reading slumps, is it's not like I don't want to, I just don't have energy to. And that's probably also part of my depression, but we don't have to go into that. So anyways, on to the next book. The next book I have, I feel like also won't be a total surprise to people if you've watched some of my videos from, like, the fall. This was a book that I really wanted to read during the fall, and I swear it was on Kindle Unlimited, but then when I went to go read it, it was no longer on Kindle Unlimited, and I wasn't gonna buy it because I wasn't going to buy it. But I got it for Christmas, so I will be putting Caraval on. Sorry if the light keeps reflecting the cover, and if it bothers anybody, I will try to keep it still. But I have been wanting to read this book for a few months now. I saw a TikTok about it. Like, I've seen a bajillion, but, like, specifically this one TikTok that I had seen convinced me so much to finally read it. Like, I'd been wanting to, but it wasn't like, oh, it was just kind of like, yeah, that'd be, like, it seems like a cool, you know, plot and whatever. But then that one TikTok just, like, put me over the moon. I was like, I need to read this, which you have to be careful. Sometimes TikToks can be very misleading. I have read multiple books because of a TikTok, and it let me down. But I don't feel like this one will be that way. I have very high hopes for this. And I'm also very aware that some people liked this series but loved the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So even if I don't love this, I'm still going to try the next one. If I hate this, we'll see. But I don't think I'll hate it. But I've been super excited to read this, and again, if I don't read it, it's probably more like it's probably less that I didn't read it and why do you do this to me, phone? I understand I have 10% left. I will get the video done. Sorry. Now I'm distracted. See, now, phone, now you've messed me up. Okay. Anyways, this is the second book on my TBR. I don't need to keep going on about it. Actually, I also wanted to say, I have 5 books on my TBR because I don't think I said that earlier, and I feel like they're very, like, variety filled. Like, they're not all romance. Some of them are fantasy, some of them are romance, some of them are romantasy, some of them are fiction. I'm just saying. I feel like I'm really branching out here in January. I almost said December. Anyways, on to the next book. Okay, so the next book that I have on my TBR is one that I feel like none of you probably would have ever thought I was going to read based on what I read. And that is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. But I have watched the show, and I love the show, not in the sense that like what happens in the show is good, but like the actors are really good, and like the storyline and like kind of the point that certain plots are making. Like, I just really enjoy the show. I rewatch it all the time. I think it's really well done for what the story is. And so I really want to read it because I want to see how similar but also different it is. And I, as a person who knows very little about the author community, I mainly only know about the romance authors, and even that knowledge is very, very slim. I know that Margaret Atwood is an amazing author, and I have been wanting to read one of her books for a long time, and so I felt like this was the perfect book to pick up to read. So I'm actually really excited to read this, and I feel like it's pretty short. I mean, I know the font, like, you can see here, the font's pretty small, but I feel like that's not that bad. I don't know. I'm excited to read it. I hope that I actually do get to it this month. It will be coming with me to college, so if I don't, I have many more months that I can read it with. That's the thing about TBRs this month, is picking books that I feel like I'm actually gonna be able to take with me. I don't really want to take any of my hardbacks, but like, I'm not gonna wait to read Ruthless Vows and Caraval until May. Like, I think I would lose my mind. But I am having a dilemma. Like, if I don't finish Caraval before I leave next week, do I take Legendary with me? Do I leave it here? Do I have my mom send it to me when like, I don't know what to do. So I'm having a bit of a crisis, but that's my own thing to figure out, not you guys. Anyways, The Handmaid's Tale is the third book on my January TBR. Okay, so the fourth book that's on my TBR is one that I have seen a lot of people talk about recently, and I don't know a whole lot about, and I'm kind of trying to keep it that way. Like, I didn't even read the back really, just because I kind of feel like, even though it's not a thriller, I feel like this book, I don't know, I feel like there are certain things that going into it blind is probably better, and that is One Dark Window. So I think the first person I saw talk about this was Sarah Caroli, and she absolutely loved it, and I don't know, she convinced me. That's all I'll say. Like, sometimes booktubers and book talkers and bookstagram and wherever you get your, you know, book knowledge from, or your recommendations from is more accurate. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, you said it was a good book and it looks like it could be a good book, or like I like the plot line or whatever. Sure, I'll try it. But like the way that Sarah talked about this book, I was like, I need to read this like now. So here it is, and here it is on my TBR. It's a pretty long book, like, for a paperback, but it's actually not that long. Like, the font's not bad and stuff like that. I just think it seems long because it's a paperback, and I think because the font's like bigger, it makes just more pages. But I hope that I can also get through this one. This will also be coming with me to college because, again, if I don't read it this month, I really do want to get to it. But I don't know, I've just heard really, really good things about it, and I really, really hope that it lives up to that hype, because I know sometimes books that have a lot of hype don't live up to it. I've had that experience multiple times, but I've also had experiences like Fourth Wing where it lived right up to its hype. So fingers crossed that I at least like it. It doesn't need to be my favorite thing on the earth, but I want it to be my favorite thing on the earth. Okay, anyways, on to my next book. Okay, so the last book that I have on my January TBR is a romance, because I was kind of like, well, I have like 2 fantasies, and then like, I don't know exactly like what. I mean, like, I know some people say Caraval is fantasy, but like, I don't know. There's Caraval. And then there's The Handmaid's Tale, which is just like fiction. So I have like 3-ish fantasies and a fiction. And I am a romance girly. Like, I love romances. I live for my romance books. So I'm like, I have to put at least one romance book on here. And I almost put another one, but I didn't want to put too much on my plate. It's already like January 9th or something. So I stick to 5. We'll see what happens. But the book that I did put on my TBR was Night Shift by Annie Crown. Again, I've heard great things about it. It seems like a really cute, short, kind of cheesy, but like cheesy in a good way, romance. My biggest thing about this is that it seems like it'll be really quick and easy to read, which I feel like after reading a bunch of fantasies will be really nice, because even though I love fantasy, sometimes after you read one, you're like, what is English? I don't even know what's going on. So having something that should hopefully not be too difficult to understand and just be quick to, you know, get through, I feel like will be really, really important with this TBR. So that's why I put this one on my TBR. If I remember correctly, it's like, yeah, okay, it's college and it's a sports romance. I think it's kind of like, I might be wrong here. Okay, I was gonna say it's like The Deal, and it is, but it isn't. Because instead of like tutoring, I think she just like works in the library. I don't know. I'll find out and I'll let you guys know when I read it. But like I said, just quick, easy, and short, and I felt like it was the perfect one to put on the TBR for what I have over here. So that is my 5th and final book on my January TBR. Hey guys, so that is my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you know, like, comment, subscribe. We did pass the 50 views. I mean, not the 50 views, oh my goodness. The 50 subscribers. I literally, like, it happened overnight from January 30, I mean, oh my god, December 31st to January 1st. I went to bed, and I hadn't checked. Like, I probably checked at like 10 o'clock. And I didn't check until the next morning, and when I checked the next morning, I had 50 subscribers. So that's amazing. I hit my goal for the year. I will probably have another video posted in the near future. I might wait to make it though until I'm back at my dorm because I don't need books for this specific video really. But I'll see what I can do before I go back. But I do plan on making a video of my goals for the year, my like personal goals, my school goals, my writing goals, my reading goals, because I do feel like if I document them and kind of post them online, it's kind of a good way to keep me kind of like, okay, well, you said you were going to do this. Did you do it? And I mean, this is not going to be anything like, you know, I need to get straight A's. And if I don't get straight A's, like, will my goal likely be that I would like straight A's? Of course. But like, if I don't, it's not the end of the world. But I feel like the book one and the writing one are the ones that you guys, I think, would enjoy the most. But I might just add some of my own personal stuff in there just to kind of be like, my goals for 2024. But I will say my biggest goal for this year is to finish my series. I have so many unfinished series, and I'm starting so many new series. So I need to start getting the books that, like, the series that I've started, I need to finish them. So I am exhausted because, as you guys know, when I'm at home, most of my videos get filmed at night. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are having a great week, day, month, whenever you watch this. I hope if you're watching this pretty close to when it came out, hope your new year is going good so far. If you're back in school, I'm sorry. I know, I'm sorry. I'm not looking forward to it either. But I hope you guys all had a great winter break. And I hope that school goes well for you guys this semester, or this quarter, depending on what system you're in. And yeah, I will guys, oh my goodness. This is a sign that I need to go to bed. I will see you guys next time, which like I said, hopefully sooner than later. I'm going to try to film and post as much as I can before I go, but we'll see. And hopefully I also get out of my reading slump. Everyone cross your fingers that Paige gets out of her reading slump, because I need to get out of it. It's actually driving me insane that I have not. I'm already behind on my reading goal, and it's January. Oh, I mean, I'm going to put it in my goals video, but just because you guys are probably curious. I did set my goal for 55 books this year. I did 50 last year, and I got 51 or 52. So I feel like it's not that drastic of a difference. I know I can do it. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go now because this video is going too long and I can already feel my brain starting to fall out of its head. I'm going now. Bye guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.